Hi, this is Lady Lex UK and this is a Dreams tutorial. I had a request, somebody wanted to have a run mechanic by pressing the left button down, the L3 button. They would make the character run and they would walk every other time. Gave the instructions out and they said it didn't work. I don't really understand why that would be. It does work, so here are the instructions on how to do that. I'm also going to explain how to add a cooldown mechanic to that so that he can't run all the time. Right, so let's start off. We're going to put down a basic puppet. Here's our basic puppet. And as you know, when you possess a basic puppet, let me just possess him over there. Right, when you possess a basic puppet, if you push slightly on the left stick, he'll walk. But if you push it all the way, he'll run. And most of the people will be running around in your level like this all the time. And that is probably not really what you want. You want some sort of mechanic that will turn the run on. So let's have a look what we could use. So we'll go into our blank puppet like this and open the menu. So that's L1 and square. And you can see there are two speeds. There's the walk speed and the run speed. This is what we want to alter. Now, let's say you wanted no running at all. You just want him to be able to walk. One speed. No increase in speed, just one speed. So there's the speed, the one speed. You could change that to whatever speed you wanted. And we've turned the run speed off. That's now 0. So now our player will just walk. No run. He doesn't increase his speed. He doesn't run at all. That's it. So that's how to turn run off. Let's put run back in. Let's make it a little bit faster. 7.5. That'll do nice. Okay, now let's open up his logic and his controller logic. And we'll see the controller sensor is linked with the left stick wired into our walk. So now we want to change so that the L3 button is going to activate the run, like so. So we've wired it from the L3 into our run. So now, let's close these off. So now, I'm walking, and if I press the L3 button, I can run. If I let go of the L3 button, he'll go back to walking. Now this is great, but you might want it so that he can't run continuously and he gets tired. So let me just come out of him and I'll go into him. Now this character over here, he walks. If I press L3, he runs. But after a time, he gets tired. I've put a little icon above his head to say he's tired. Now I'm pressing down L3, but I'm not running. Now the tired icon has disappeared, and I can run again. So it doesn't matter how many times I press L3 now, while that icon is up there, he is not going to run. And it's not until you let go. And now we can run again. So there we go. Let's have a look at that mechanic and see how that works. Okie dokie. So there's lots of timers and counters and things here. So when the player presses the L3 button, we're going to do two things. We're going to set off a timer and we're going to set a counter to 1. So this is a 0-1 counter. So it starts off as 0. I don't know why that opened up like that. Right, it starts off at 0 and it has a target value of 1. So when the player presses the L3 button, that sets that counter off and this timer off of 5 seconds. Now this counter full, so is linked into this AND gate that says, okay, is the counter full? And when this timer is finished, it sets off this counter. Now this is our cooldown. So what happens is for 5 seconds he can run about. And then when that is finished, that counter is going to be set. So we're looking to see if this counter is not set. So we've got a not gate here. So if this counter is not set, but this counter is, then we can run. And so we've linked that into our run, into our puppet. So he will run. However, when this timer is finished and this counter is put on, it also sets off this timer. This is another timer of 5 seconds. You can set this cooldown to as long as you like. And this one, when this is finished, that will reset this counter. So this counter here is our cooldown, and this counter here is our run. So we will reset these counters when they're finished, so they can go again another time. But this is checking to see you will only run if this is activated and this is not. And this text displayer, this is only activated when this counter is on. So this is our counter to say it's the cooldown, and so it's going to display that face. So that's it. So that's our cooldown system. So you'll run for only 5 minutes. Then there is a cooldown for 5 minutes. So you can only run about in fast mode for 5 seconds, and then he can't activate it again for another 5 seconds. So you could have a cooldown system that has both of these timers, or just this first timer. So you can run when he pushes the button down, he can run for 5 seconds, and then he's going to let go and press again. This one means that even if he does that, he's still got to wait 5 seconds before it will activate a second time. And that's it. That's our cooldown logic for our run mechanic. I'm sorry it's a lot of wires and it might get a bit confusing, but L3 sets the counter, sets the timer. End of timer resets this counter, starts this counter and this timer. End of this timer resets this counter, and then we can all go again. This AND gate looks to see if this counter is on and this counter is off, and if those two are satisfied, then he runs. There we go. And this text displayer only displays when this counter is full. There we go. Hope that was useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in your dreams.